I'm here today to talk about why it is that women do not just go ahead and reveal their feelings for you during the dating process. Because most guys after like 2 or 3 dates are like, hey, so I just want to know where you're at and what you're thinking about and feeling. And those guys get surprised when they get dumped after asking that question. But why are they getting dumped? Why is it that a woman is not at that point in time willing to reveal the feelings that she has or what she thinks about you? And really, why are you so needed to know that? Because I tell you guys, it takes 2 or 3 months. So you should be sitting back and saving those kind of questions until month 3 if you're going to ask them, which I recommend you don't. But anyway, so let's go ahead and go through it. Here are the 5 reasons why women don't just tell you how they feel about you in the course of the dating process. The first reason is that they are usually uncertain about how they feel about you. Specifically, at the time that you're asking them how they feel, they have not figured out their feelings all the way. Especially by date 2 or 3, they're still just figuring out if they like the conversation with you. They might like the way you look and might be thinking, yeah, I might go to the bed with them. But if they're looking at you in the prospects of being a potential long-term relationship, they have a lot more to figure out in terms of their feelings, in terms of how they feel about you, in terms of a plethora of other things that we'll get into, to where at the point that you're asking her, she's like, I don't know how I feel yet. But she's thinking, if you're already there because you're asking her the question, then it's not fair for her to continue to date you if you're already saying that you have feelings for her, because now she's feeling it's unfair to you, as if you should already have a woman that already knows that they feel those things in the same amount of time that you have. And that's not fair to her. And it's also not fair to you, because you are shooting yourself in the foot trying to ask women early on how they feel about you. I get why we do it. We get anxious. We don't want to think that we're possibly spending all this time, effort, energy, and money on women that don't want to date us long term. So we feel after 3 dates that we've paid for, it's time to now go shop and say, hey, so how do you feel about me? And I'm telling you guys, it takes them 2 to 3 months. They're vetting, they're doing their due diligence, they're doing a plethora of other things. And if you don't give them that time, then she's going to be uncertain, and she's going to be like, but he seems very certain and I'm not, so I got to get out of here. So you're shooting yourself in the foot by doing that. The second reason that women don't just tell you how they feel where they're dating you is that they are still trying to establish trust and consistency with you. So you've gone on 3 dates and you already said, I already know I like her. I already pretty much trust her. I don't need to know anymore. So let's get to this thing, right? And most women, you're going to find, if you really listen to them and start hearing about their previous dating stories, have been in situations where they rush into a situation with the guy too soon, and then their safety was at risk. He wasn't as trustworthy as he could have been, and a plethora of other things, right? And so most women are going to take that 2 to 3 months to see if you're consistent, if you're doing the things that you say you're going to do, if you're trustworthy, if you're not lying to her, if you seem to be like an overall good guy that we always say is on this, oh, I'm such a nice and good guy, but are you actually living up to that reputation? She needs time to see that so she can start to establish in her head that, oh, this guy is who he says he is, and he's giving me the time. He's not rushing me, so I don't feel as though he's trying to put the wool over my eyes. This guy could actually be legit. But that takes time. So she needs that 2 to 3 months to see consistency and establish trust. And during that time, as she's analyzing that, yes, her feelings and attraction for you is going to be growing, but she's not going to want to tell you where her head's at because she's still on that journey. So think about this. By the time you get to month 2 or 3, her interest level in you is probably going to be at close to 80 to 85%, which is pretty high. In the first month of dating, it might get to 65, maybe 70 if you started off really strong. That's still not high enough for her to be wanting to tell you how she feels, because she's thinking, I'm really liking this guy. He's not like any other guy I've ever dated, but I still need to make sure he's consistent. And until she's finished that journey of seeing your consistency, she's not going to want to tell you how she feels, because she's thinking it's waffling. It's 60 today, but depending on how well he is tomorrow and how he treats me and what he says to me, it might go up or it might go down. I don't know yet. And women in the dating phase tend to live in the world of depends. How do I feel about you on a day-to-day? It depends. It depends on what we did today, what we talked about. If you tried to force me to hook up with you versus not, if you were, very nice to me at this various location, if you open my door, this all depends. And so this depends is going to waffle back and forth for 3 months until I'm like, you know what? I can now depend on him to open my door, to be nice to me, to not threaten me with to yelling when he doesn't get his way. So give her that time to establish that. The third reason why women don't just tell you how they feel when they're dating you is that previous dating situations may have them second guessing if they want to even be in a serious relationship. I told you guys recently about the documentary I saw called, what was that one? It was over the longest third date ever, where these two people went on 2 dates. And then the third date, they went to vacation in Costa Rica. And then because, C-19 happened, they were trapped there for 3 months. And so during that whole documentary, she's saying, well, it's me and him on a day to day, and I'm not sure if I want to be in a serious relationship. Like, this feels really good, but I've had stuff in the past happen to where I don't want to rush into this. I don't even know if I want to be serious. This was just supposed to be a good time, and now I don't know. And so we think as men that if a woman's expressing that or is giving the indication that she's not sure, that we're automatically out. And I try to tell you guys, women live in the land of maybe and depends. So what that means is that she might feel really strong about you one day in the dating process, and then the next day, she's not so sure. The next day, she's feeling great about you. The next day, she's apprehensive. And you might see that as like, we're automatically thinking it's going to eventually lead towards she doesn't want us. But that back and forth in her head is her having the battle of herself between, I really, really want this, but is this something I actually want? And is this going to be like a trick like it was last time where I ended up not getting what I wanted? And she needs to have that battle in her head back and forth while you're still showing up, being consistent, and establishing trust in things, all right? And so you can't assume that a woman dating you, if she's kind of like not so sure where she wants to be in terms of having a serious relationship, that she's not going to eventually choose you. This is why I tell you guys, as long as she's saying yes to dates and she's being consistent and showing up and having a good time and having relatively good hookups, then you're good. You as the guy do not need to be so quick to label this thing. And also the benefit is if you're not labeling it right away, that still gives you time to go out there and potentially see if other women might be better for you until she comes to you and says, hey, so I've been thinking, and what are we? And well, I didn't think I want a relationship, but I don't want you dating anybody else. So can we talk about that? Like, let her come to you and do that. But again, don't be, shocked or surprised if a woman's in her head for the first 3 months thinking about, well, I kind of want to be in the thing, but I'm not sure. All you do is just show up and be like, okay, well, whatever. Like, I enjoy your company, and if it ends up being a relationship, fantastic. But right now, I'm just trying to show you on a day-to-day the best time I possibly can. And again, that lets her know that you're not forcing her to make a decision, which is going to result in her more often than not choosing you as the person she wants. Again, it's a Jedi mind trick, but it works. The fourth reason that women don't just tell you how they feel about you when they're dating you is she actually may be showing you that she likes you in other ways that are more passive, and you're just not picking up on it. Like, I remember in college, like, women would do things like come to my dorm just to say hi, or like pass me in the yard and give me like a certain kind of wave. And I'm just in my head at the time thinking like, that's not a thing. Or yeah, they're just doing that to be my friend and whatever. Not realizing like, no, those are their signals. So you might need to be better at studying up on, okay, she's not verbally expressing how she feels in this moment about me because it's, we've been dating for a month and a half, but like, is she occasionally paying for meals? Is she taking me out sometimes? Is she saying that shirt looks really handsome on you? Is she saying, gosh, you smell so nice today? All those things could be her way of saying, I really, really like you, but I don't want to come full force with verbally saying my feelings because that's a big deal for me. But I'm still letting you hopefully know in other ways that I do feel a thing, and hopefully you're going to catch on to that. And then the fifth reason why women don't just tell you how they feel. Hold a second. The fifth reason that women don't just tell you how they feel when they're dating you is that they may be afraid of saying things too soon and then making the wrong decision and then having to backtrack later, thus hurting your feelings. So let's say a woman's like, well, I've only been dating for a month, but yeah, I'm going to tell you, I feel so much and I love you and blah, 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 this and that. Again, a lot of women have had the experience of they rush in too soon. And then all of a sudden, like, let's say she says after date 3, like, oh, I love you, I want to be your girlfriend. And then the next time you're like, she sees you like out smoking with your buddies and you start getting high and cursing at her or whatever, or she sees you be mean to a server. Well, she didn't do her 3 months of due diligence. And so now she realizes, oh crap, I made a mistake. And now I got to dump this guy, but is he going to try to abuse me if I do it? Is he going to start crying and being needy? Is he going to be stalking me? Like, I don't want to deal with that. And it's going to be a lot worse if I reveal my feelings and then he comes with me with all that. So it's better where if I'm just dating him for the first 3 months and I'm not revealing too much about how I feel about him because I'm still building up that, but also I'm not making a decision that I have to then backtrack later on and do more damage when I break up with him. So recognize women have been through a lot of crappy dating situations. So if they're not saying after month 1, oh, I really like you, blah, 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 like there might be reasons behind that she's maybe not willing to talk about yet. But that's why I tell you guys, if you just wait, when you're dating, just put in your head, 3 months. She needs at least 3 months before she's going to come to me with the what are we conversation. Then you will make your dating life so much easier. I have found, like, across the board, most women, if they really, really like you, after like 2.5 months, they're coming to you. Hey, so are you dating anybody? Hey, so what are we? Hey, so we've been going out for a while. Hey, so my friends have been asking about what are we? And I just want to know, like, what's going on with us. Like, they will come to you if you're not the one pushing the agenda. All right. Which reminds me, the bonus reason why women don't just tell you how they feel is because it's their job to ask you where you're at. At the point that they get to the 2.5 to 3 month period and you haven't expressed all these flowery feelings and told them where you're at with them, then they're going to want to know. They're naturally curious. They're going to come to you and ask you. You'll start getting hints of this like a month and a half where we're going to be like, so, like, are you seeing anybody else right now? Or so, just like, just want to know, like, I left your house the other day and, like, were you thinking about me when I left? This is going to be the hints that she's now looking for, signs that you have feelings for her. Let her be the one to come to you. I cannot stress this enough. All right. They want to be the one to come to you and ask questions. They want to be a sleuth. They want to try to do a little detective work. So when you said this thing, doesn't mean you care about me like this, or blah, 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 blah. Like, they want to be the ones to do that. When you do it, more often than not, it's going to be too soon when they haven't finished doing their due diligence and vetting process, and you're going to be out. And again, I go based on probability and results. So my results have shown me that when I've waited the 3 months, usually between 2.5 and 3 months, they're coming to me. So because that's already in my head as a thing that I trust, I don't ever ask women, how do you feel about me? Where are we at? Those are questions that to women are going to be seeming like you're not confident in your ability to attract her. And that can be more of a turnoff than you imagine. All right. So keep that in mind, guys. Women aren't going to be, during the dating process, more often than not, trying to tell you about all their feels. Look at their actions. Look at their consistency. Are they saying yes to dates? Are they consistently saying yes to hookups or outings? If so, just know that you're good. Wait the 3 months, and then you don't have to worry about knowing how she feels, because trust me, in that 3rd month, all the feelings are going to come out. You's a bad boy, but you can't stop, won't stop. You a high-earning, high-value, high-class man. You a high-earning, high-value, high-class man. You a high-earning, high-value, high-class man. You a high-class man. You a high-class man. You a high-earning, high-value, high-class